welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you my personal experience with martial arts and my journey, if you want to name it like that, from when I started as a child and having martial arts heroes from movies that I really enjoyed, to going over to wanting to try martial arts myself as a kid, then trying martial arts, being heavily traumatized, and then what I did afterwards and how I came back to martial arts later and how I ended up here in this lovely martial arts school and how I made my journey here and becoming a master in Wing Chun and how I earned my spot here on this wall. So let's jump right into it and let's see where it all began. To give all of you a little bit of background, when I grew up, I had a twin brother and we were always having fights, competing against each other, being the best, and we loved watching martial art movies together. We had different heroes, I think you know all of them, may it be Jackie Chan, may it be Jet Li, may it be Bruce Lee, different heroes, different movies. I think everyone had some of those when we were younger, and we admired them and we were like, wow, maybe I can be this strong one day and I can fight like this. So a dream was built, and then when we grew older, our parents tried to find some sports for us to see what we like. We tried several different sports, and every time we tried it, it was like, well, we did not really enjoy it that much, and then we tried to get them to get us a little bit more into something more martial arts like, and they agreed, let's try it as well. And we tried a martial arts self-defense course. I was so small, I can't even remember, so I don't know what age it was definitely below 10, so I don't know if it was a special martial arts or it was self-defense in general, because we did a lot of thrust exercises in there, and there was one particular exercise there that really stuck in my mind, traumatized me, and kept me away from ever doing any martial arts I thought ever. We were standing in a circle, everyone standing in a big circle, maybe like 20 people, and one person should go in the middle to, I don't know why, to increase their confidence by getting punched. Sounds strange? I thought so too. So what was the clue? The idea was, well, the person who's getting punched has some protection. So we had like some really small protection like this, and the person in the middle went rounds and got punched by every person in the whole circle, and you have to move around. And so you knew, okay, everyone will have to do this, and you should punch the other person as hard as you can. Me being a very skinny guy, I was really not having any punches, and I also didn't want to hurt anyone, so I did not really do much with my punches. But I saw other people being way less skinny, so to say. They had bigger punches and there was a lot of force, and I was already fearing that if they hit me, it will hurt a lot, because I also did not have any muscles in my abs, so no protection really. So I already tried to make it work with the people, to make a deal like, okay, now I don't punch you as hard, but if it's my turn later, please don't punch me as hard as well. And I was asking for the trainers to please not have me do this, and but I had to for some reason. Well, obedient child as I was, I did it, and I took the rest and I started the circle, and after the first few punches I already felt it hurt really bad. The protection was not really giving me anything from people punching me who weighted double my weight. Yeah, and after some of them, I said, well, I can't anymore, and I should try more, and then I had to go on a bit, and I think at some point of that, I don't really remember very well, but I think I quit something and said I really can't anymore. I'm not sure if I finished the whole circle, but yeah, this was so traumatizing. I thought, like, why would they let me do this? How should this help in any way to learning self-defense, gaining confidence, or learning to fight? Just horrible, I tell you. And so that was it. We did that and told our parents, well, it was horrible. Please never let us do that again. And yeah, that's basically it. And after that, we tried some other things. My parents said, well, you just do one sport now, no more playing around. And then I played tennis for some years, but not really motivated. So that's my childhood basically. So let's go on to the next chapter. Next chapter is I'm going to move out of my home, being like 18 or something like that, 18, 19. And then I went to study in another town, and there I did no sport at all, still a skinny guy, way skinnier than now. And I also got drafted out of military for being too light, too skinny. So I was that kind of guy. So I am still skinny, but I really was way more skinny, no sports. So in my studies, the first years I did nothing, and at some point I started going to the gym, because people around me went to the gym and they said, well, you should try it as well. My brother started, my best friend started it, and they said, you should try it, and I started as well. I liked it, it had a sauna, I just did it because of the sauna, it was nice, and I had really nice people there to train with, so it was a lot of fun. But no martial arts, just weightlifting, the usual, you know it. And so that was that. After that, I never really had a thought for martial arts. And after my studies were over, I went to another town, and there I started with my work and started a new job, or my first job. And there I met a friend who went rock climbing. I also recently started rock climbing as a sport, and I really liked that. So we did that, and I think I did rock climbing for maybe 7 years. So really heavy into rock climbing for a lot of my time. So being skinny and big and long helped there. So I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the company of the people. But after several years, things drifted a little bit apart, people were moving around, and the usual guys were not around anymore, so I was looking for something new. And being on the verge of change, I remembered, well, this is it. Now is the chance to maybe give this martial arts thing another shot, because in the years prior, the Ip Man movies were coming out, and I was watching them, and I was remembering my dreams. This is the martial arts thing I loved as a child, and I watched it, and it really came back, and I was like, okay, if I have the opportunity, maybe I will go into it and try this now, because there was 10 years being passed between the time at least, so it was not really in my mind anymore, that bad experience that branded me so hard. So I was a little bit skeptical, but I said, well, now Peter, let's do it, and I did it. And I went here into this martial arts school, and went for a training. And when I walked in here, I already felt people are welcoming, people don't want to hurt me, people want to try to help me, and I felt so good, and I thought, okay, you try this. And then I started, and I really enjoyed it, and I got the plan on what's to train and what's the goal, and I'm a goal guy. So maybe you don't know, but if I find something, I will pull through, and I push forward, and I will not stop until I reach that goal. So I had for me the goal that I saw, okay, we have this training plan here, and this and this and that, and all of this I wanted to complete to get my master level 1, how it's called here. And this is what I set for myself as a goal. I have to finish this before I stop. So that's what I did. And then I started training. Training here with friends, it's still awesome, and people are really welcoming. So thank you very much for all the people who trained with me, where I could learn from, ask questions, my master and so on, and all the other guys. I kept training and training, and time was flying by, and I was here for like over a year. Had someone who started around the same time with me, and people were talking about there's being a training opportunity that can make a great impact into your training, but it is 1 week vacation training to drive somewhere else in Italy and train there. And being a little bit fearful of being not the heaviest person, I thought, well, 1 week training the whole time, I will not make it, so let me pass on that one. And see how the other people are telling about it after they come back. And they went and they came back and they said, well, it was the best thing ever. And I was like, well, I missed it. I will do it next time. So I kept training, and the year after that, it was some years ago already, we went for the training, and there was the opportunity to go to this Italy training week again, and it's like, this time I'm going, and I signed in, and that was the turnaround point for me as a martial artist, I would say. So we went there, and there we had training program, 6 hours training a day, and sometimes we would have 3 training sessions, sometimes we would have 2 training sessions, but we would train long and really hard and get up early and be mindful and talk about the martial arts we are training the whole time, and having great people around, really experienced guys, the best guys ever. So cheers to all of you tuning in. It was really great experience, and somehow I managed. After the first day I was like, well, I'm still standing. I did not quit the training, so I can do that. After coming back from this, I realized, well, I can endure this hard training for a whole week. Then I also can train harder here. And I remembered the offer to join the master's class training, where only the most skillful people would train and work on their best and have a more fast-tracked approach, but also a more intense training, which I said I'm not going to do before that trip, because I did not think that I can train like 3 or 4 hours at one point of time, because that was this masterclass was all about. And I thought, don't let me do this, I'm not interested. So after the trip I went there and said, well, I now know that I can have the full day of training, so I will do this instead, and now I can endure it. 3 hours or 4 hours, that's nothing compared to a full day, and I started doing the master's class. Then I found myself here in the master's class, where all the most skillful people were training. I joined master's class at around 2 years of my training, and I was progressing to like the half of the training scope, or a little bit less than half, and I was anticipating to getting quicker results, now being in an elite training environment where I would train like 7 hours a week basically, and having training sessions with only people that were much more advanced than me, where I could learn from, and what was really a great opportunity for me to grow and learn, and also making fast progress. So I also had way closer connections to all my training colleagues and my Kung Fu brothers, with some nice dinners we had after the heavy training classes, like 3 or 4 hours training, and then having dinner. Really nice times, also time consuming, but I said, well, that's my goal, I have to achieve it, I want to be a master, and that's why I said now I have to do this for 1 year and then I hopefully am done. So after 1 year in the master's class and the normal training, I was ready for my test, so to say. I had to show all the program, apply it and show it to different masters to get it validated that I understood the ideas, the techniques, I can teach it, I can perform it, and then I got my master's degree. So, and with that degree also sure comes some honor, some pride, and I really like that everyone supported me in this journey, and it's such a nice feeling to now also being in this position to share my knowledge not only with people around me and people who are training with me who are less experienced, but also with you guys, and giving something to the community, to the people who also want to get into it, who say, well, I'm a skinny guy as well and I have dreams and ambitions, and maybe I can be like Peter, who started at around 30 with his martial arts training and then just pulling through and purchasing my goals and dreams and just doing it. So now it's your turn, and I hope this was a little bit of an inspiration for you as well to get going and get started and doing something that's bringing you forward in your life and will help you in the future in many different ways. So thanks for listening to me rambling about and sharing my past, and tell me in the comments below which parts you like the most and what do you think about my horrible training experience as a child. So thank you everyone, thank you for watching.